got it now, no baby.
That's what the street been waiting
Professional
for.
hood shit. My niggas, let's do it. 6 shots out of the Wesson, so much purple, a drought is out of the question. Blow your heart out of your chest then lay low in the Trump duplex down on the west end. Focus on what I invest in. Got married to marijuana, yeah, and the connect is my best man. Even though the game.
Don't run off too far. Jacob, come out right now. Jacob!
What's going on, YouTube? We back in the Low Key Cave, Keyshawn Nimes YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key, and we are back with another TV show review, and we are back with American Horror Stories, the spinoff from American Horror Stories, and we are coming with episode. Oh man, I'm thinking. I know this episode is called Frail or Pharrell. I can't remember the number episode this is, but this is the latest American Horror Stories episode, the spinoff series. You pretty much can call this episode The Hills Have Eyes / Wrong Turn. That's what this episode is completely about. As far as the plot, because being that these are completely different stories each episode, you have a family that's out in the woods, pretty much camping or whatnot. It's a woman and it's a husband and a wife and their child. Pretty much what happens is this child ends up disappearing. That's one of the parts that I went in enjoying about this, because I was like, oh, okay, so we're doing something different. Even you getting certain hints and certain things that you think are happening in this episode, and they don't straight up come out and show you who the people are in the woods or what's going on, because there's some people in the woods or so thing in the woods you don't know, but all around is something going on in the woods. We all know this going into this when there's certain things that start happening, and I almost was at the point where I'm like, okay, what? Like, if you're gonna do a Wrong Turn or if you're gonna do a Wrong Turn or a new American Horror Story movie, not American Horror Story, or a new Wrong Turn or a new Hills Have Eyes movie, this could have been a good story you could have started off with. That's one of the things I enjoyed starting off with this episode, is going into it like you had this thing that happens where the child ends up disappearing, like he goes missing. And it's like, oh, so are they gonna find him? Oh no, it ends up coming a situation where he's ending up missing for years. This is the little situation where I come into. I got confused. I didn't know if he was missing for years, months, or days. Because when they show the daddy, this nigga got like some little facial hair, but it ain't like, oh, he looks like he been looking for his son for a couple years. It looks like he been looking for a couple weeks or months. He don't look no different besides him having this little scrappy facial hair. The wife looks completely the same. No, nothing look different from her. Nothing around them looks like it's been years. That's my thing. It looks like nothing has changed. It looks like this just happened. But come to find out, it happened years later. I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'm being completely honest. I'm paying attention to the episode, but then again, this was one of them episodes where I'm like, oh man, because if y'all been watching my reviews and been keeping up with my reviews, the episode before this, Bel El, whatever it was called, about, you know, where the woman was trying to have a baby or whatnot, and she had the statue devil thing under her bed, that's one of my favorite episodes. That's my favorite episode out of this new spinoff. I felt like it was good storytelling, it was a good spinoff, it was a good finish. It was a good twist that I did not see coming, and that's one of the ones where I was like, okay, I hope they do something else like this. And going into this, I was like, I'm enjoying this, because even if they doing that whole Hills Have Eyes Wrong Turn, we went into this like, oh, the son missing. I didn't care about the whole facial hair thing. I'm like, fine, I'm not getting that, but them going back and trying to find a son, I'm like, we doing some kind of difference with this. That was intense to me, them not knowing what's going on. And this is a scene in this where they almost like, they could have done their own Wrong Turn Hills Have Eyes movie. It's a scene where they walking by and these motherfuckers is hiding in the right in between them. I'm like, I didn't even notice that. I didn't see that. And I'm like, that's a good scene. I enjoyed that. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know they was right there. But man, going into the middle, like I say, the beginning of this is good. The beginning of this is probably the no, I ain't gonna say the best. The beginning of this is pretty good. Going into the middle, it gets kind of slow, but between the middle and the last act is where it really picks up, and I'm like, whoa, not the special effects, but the makeup, the whole premise, not the premise, but the look of the people or the creatures or whatever you want to call them that's in the woods. That's one of the best things about this episode. And they got looks and they got certain things in here. I was like, damn, this looks better than what they got going on in Hills Have Eyes and Wrong Turn, like in the TV show, like in the episode overall. Like, they got some motherfucking shit that look like some Silent Hill that could have been on Resident Evil video games type shit that goes on. The problem is, not only is it not a good setup, it's not a good execution. Shout out to my man who's a regular in the American Horror Story series. He's been around. He was in Apocalypse. That's one of the ones I enjoyed for what it was, what American Horror Story was doing and what it was trying to be. But overall, man, I just feel like they could have done a lot of things better. They had a build-up that they did not execute good for me, in my opinion. They did not execute this build-up at all good. But what they was trying to do was good, and it's like what they've done with not the first two episodes. The first two episodes was, to me, like that regular American Horror Story. But after that one, like the zombie one and the Santa Claus one, this to me is what they did with this one as far as the ending. It's like they didn't know what they had. They didn't have no idea what to do. They just like, okay, let's just finish this. That's what the ending is to me. I ain't no spoilers. To me, it was like they was like, okay, finish this. That's it. It was like, oh, okay, we got a little reveal, but it's like I kind of seen this coming, for real. It was like we got a little reveal, and to me, that was kind of like my answer to the date on this. It was like, okay, now I know it's been years, because I really didn't know. I'm telling you, even though what was going on, I'm gonna be honest, maybe they gave a reveal of what the years was when the sheriff and them was in here, but I'm telling you, that's how slow it got in the middle of this. That's why I was like, okay, man, can we get this going and find out what's going on in the woods? Because I just was not interested in this husband and wife. I was not interested in them at all. They did not give me a reason to be interested in them. I only got interested when the sheriff came on, because I knew who, not only was he a familiar face, but he was giving this story, he was telling about certain things, and I was like, okay, we getting some things that happen. Because at first I'm like, is we getting Bigfoot in this? Is this a Bigfoot story? Then we start seeing certain things, I'm like, no, we're not getting Bigfoot. This is Hills Have Eyes and Wrong Turn. But overall, I did not enjoy this one. This is not one of my favorite ones. I can even say the zombie one was better to me than this one, the zombie one at the theaters. Overall, though, I feel like I did enjoy some of the monster reveals. I did not see that coming. I was like, damn, that looks good. Like I said, I got a lot of Silent Hill, Resident Evil vibes from this. Silent Hill movie, Resident Evil video games from this, not the Resident Evil movies. But overall, I did not enjoy the story. The execution was not good at all. I did not feel like they executed this story good at all. But y'all let me know in the comment section, how did y'all feel about American Horror Stories, the newer episode for Feral, or whatever it's called. I can't think of the number of episode this is, but y'all let me know in the comment section. Leave the comments, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. This is the road to 300 subs. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to let you know when I upload new videos. We out.
What is out there? There are pockets of these things in every national park. Over 2,000 people have vanished from the parks over the years.